Hello, my name is Brianna Vincenti, and today I will be talking about what I have learned in technology and teaching and learning this semester, created by me. So, one of the very first valuable pieces of information that we learned is what is copyright and why is it important? So, copyright is the legal right created by the law of a country that grants the creator of an original work exclusive rights for its use and distribution. It's important because it legally protects authors' works and prevents it from being stolen. Learning this information allowed me to correctly cite my resources in the following projects. So, our first project was a Voki avatar, which is a customizable speaking avatar for both teacher and students and enhances classroom learning. I made my avatar to look just like me and used text to talk regarding technology use in the classroom. Voki Avatar is a great way to communicate with a classroom using both visual and audio. 3 ways I can use Voki in my profession as a speech-language pathologist would be to present information to a client, maybe give directions to my client, or have my client use Voki as a means of communication, which would be pretty fun. I think that this project best describes one of 7 in the ISTE standards for educators, and that is learner, because Voki is a great way for educators to improve their practice using technology like Voki, which in return will improve student learning. So our next project included an infographic, also known as Piktochart, on a topic of our choice that was to include technology use in our field of study. An infographic is a visual representation of information that includes facts, images, and statistics. 3 ways that I can use Piktochart in my profession as an SLP would be to display information to colleagues in a creative manner, display information to an audience, or maybe use Piktochart to explain my plan of action with the client to the caregiver or parents. I think Piktochart best represents 4 of 7 in the ISTE standards, which is Collaborator, because this is a great tool that can be used with both colleagues and students to improve practice, discover or share resources with the caregivers. Some pros of Piktochart would be that it displays your information in a creative manner. I think that this can also be a con just because colors can clash, or if you use too many pictures or too many words on your infographic, it might have that opposite effect. So the next project was a formative assessment project where we were to create perception polls or surveys, progress monitoring quizzes, and a performance assessment rubric that we would use for a classroom of students. For the perception surveys, we were to create a 3 to 5 question survey on the topic of our choice to be given to a particular audience of our choice using either Kahoots or Google Forms. I used both. Both can be used to create surveys, but there are a few differences. Those being that Kahoot only can be used in the form of a game, which I think is its only con. Google Forms is definitely the more formal of the two. So when creating a progress monitoring quiz, we were to use 2 tools. Those were Quizalize and Socrative. Quizalize is an online resource that allows you to create unlimited quizzes, edit other teachers' quizzes, and have unlimited classes to perform progress tracking. It's a free resource that shows results of students in your class by viewing a spreadsheet that is generated after they have taken the assessment, which again was on the topic of our choice. Socrative is similar in that students share their understanding by answering questions in a variety of formats, things like quizzes, question pools, exit tickets, and space races. For the performance assessment, I used a tool called Tech for Learning Rubric Maker, which can be used to make customized assessments for students' work. It's very easy to use and very self-explanatory. So it allows you to view samples according to grade and subject and even create your very own. All of these tools best represent citizen, facilitator, and analysis in the ISTE standards for education. 3 ways that I would use all of the tools that I've listed would maybe be to get feedback from caregivers and parents on the progress of my clients. maybe assess my own client during therapy, or maybe assess other colleagues on what they think we could do to better the clinical setting or therapy session for our clients. One of the last projects that we did in class was to create a presentation using PowerPoint that was similar to TED Talks. We had to choose an audience, select a topic of our choice, and brainstorm our topic and create a storyboard, which is a graphic organizer in the form of illustrations or images displayed in sequence for your own use. And then we were to take these ideas and create a PowerPoint. We learned all about slide design and how to simplify our slides to avoid death by PowerPoint. We then had to present our project using a tool called Screencast-O-Matic, which is a free tool that allows you to make tutorials or videos on your own computer screen to deliver your presentation electronically. You can record your voice, which is what I'm actually doing right now, or you can use your webcam to add your physical presence to your project. 3 ways that I would use this in my profession would be to use this in an at-home care setting, which some clients require. I would also use it to communicate with colleagues who are not able to be there in person, and also to communicate with other healthcare professionals, which is very common in my field, for those who aren't able to talk to me in person. Some pros and cons. So I would say that pros would be that it allows you to communicate when you're not around, but this is also a con because it eliminates that physical factor, that personal face-to-face that you have, which I think is also really important. But it is a great alternative. As far as the ISTE standards of educators, I would say that it best goes along with Collaborator. So these are my resources for all my pictures and information, and thanks so much for listening, and it was an honor to be in your class this semester.